So we're going to talk about the North Indian chart, South Indian chart, and the East Indian chart. We already looked at the circular chart, which has to do with Western approach of how you draw the chart. The model, we say if you're born at spring at sunrise, how every sign rises up over the horizon, and then we divide this into four corners at the horizon. That's you at the time of birth. If you're born in spring when the sun is rising, then that's the other. That's your actions up here. That's the highest point of the sun. So just like in the yearly chart, the sun rising at the equator, here we have the horizon. It goes to highest point, noon, then to the horizon again, like the equator, and that's sunset. And then you've got midnight when it's lowest below the horizon, the sun is. And then the energies above you, they bless you. The energies below you, they bless your inner life. They pull you inward. So that's why you have your home, your family. Up here is your actions, your achievements, your purpose in life. So these are all, this is insight, knowledge, action, achievement, fulfillment. So these form the 12 houses of astrology, and I've mentioned that they're connected to the different signs of the zodiac. So one, it's you, your family, your each sign rises, each sector of the sky is rising every 2 hours. So we have you, your family, your communication and siblings, your home, your children, creativity, your dedication and service to others, your relationships, your depth of relationships, going deep into yourself, your purpose in life, your worship of God, the activities that you do, and then the achievements, and then the sense of completion or fulfillment, the transcendence. So these are kind of modeled after the 12 sectors of the zodiac, where you start from spring all the way to winter, when there's that silent transcendence. So that's the Western astrology chart that looks at things. So if you have a lot of planets above you, then they give you some power, they give you energy, they bless you. Planets below you, if most of your planets and planets below you, they bless you, but they pull you more inward. If most of your planets are above the horizon, in the dome of the skies above you, you're more of an extrovert, because that's all the energies that support your activities. If most of your planets are down here below the horizon, then those planets support your inner life, your emotions, your feelings, your family, the number 4 sectors, your home, mother, but also your chest and your feeling of who you are in terms of your security, emotional security. And by the way, each of the signs, they represent a part of your body. So in the individual chart, this starts with the head, neck, shoulders and arms, chest, solar plexus, intestines, and then lower back, and then lower yet reproductive area, and then you have your thighs and hips, your knees, your lower leg, and then your ankle and foot. So you have 12 different parts of your body. And in the natural zodiac, if we talk about the 12 sectors of the zodiac, it's with the equator there as the kind of reference point with the sun going above and below the equator, creating 12 different sectors. Those sectors also are associated with different parts of the body. So the first sector is your head, similar to the personal chart. So when you try to locate yourself in terms of the zodiac, number 1, 2, 3, like that, whatever it is, then you say, okay, well, I have planets here in, let's say, the third sector. So that means that there's a lot maybe going on in my shoulders and arms, and also for expression and communication. If in the individual chart, which as I say is defined by the horizon, and you divide again, if you have a lot going on, each of these sectors rises up, it rotates this way. So if you have a lot of planets here in the third house, the third sector of your personal chart, then you've got a lot of energy in your shoulders and arms and so on. And if you have some restrictive energies, some planets that pull in things, and you might have some tensions whichever sector of the body is involved. And now in North India, they try to draw all this in terms of a square, and that's completely valid. Same thing with South India, squares. And Parashara, the sage of astrology, says you can do it both ways. You can draw a square, you can draw a circle. So what does this mean? Okay, so let's break it down. So this is the horizon. This is your personal chart, horizon. And then each of these sectors will rise one after another. I think I'm seeing this in reverse. So this is the second sector, third sector, fourth sector, fifth sector, so on. So what happens is that this is below the horizon and this is above the horizon. So these sectors, they just come up like this, one, then the next one, every 2 hours, another sector, because the Earth is rotating. So again, what you do is you take a look and say, if most of your planets on this side, the number 10, 11, 9, and so on, then you're an extrovert. You've got a lot of planets above you. If most of your planets are below the horizon, then you're more of an introvert. And they drew this particular format because they wanted to see what's at the horizon and what's the lowest below the horizon and highest above the horizon. They called it the kendras, the four corners. If you have planets here, 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 then you've got energy for success for either yourself, your home, your relationships, or your activities. So that's how we can tell. We can tell different things from the number of planets and their arrangement in these different sectors, these different parts of your life. Now, in South India, they like to have the zodiac kind of fixed. They like to look at it from the reference point of the equator. So it emphasizes more the zodiac, the different sectors of the year chart, the Kalapurusha. So it starts here. This is the first. So imagine that this is the equator, and then these are number 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, going above the equator and then below the equator till number 12. Basically, it's this chart where you go 1, 2, 3, from spring all the way to fall to winter, and fall and winter here. The purpose of it is so that you can say, well, you can immediately see which one of the energies of the year that you are connected to. So if your sun is here, then you say, oh, you're a Number 11, that is more humanitarian. If you're here, you're more transcendental. If you're here in the first month, the first sector of spring, then you're more creative, like that. You're more steady here if you're born in April, because it's a more fixed part of the season, more stable season of spring. So this looks at, this is the below, this is above the equator. And then depending on what your rising sign is, which of these sectors was rising at the horizon at the moment of birth, then we draw a little dotted line like that. So the zodiac sectors are always fixed in the South Indian style, and then the sector that's rising is going to be depending on, is it 12 rising, is it 11 rising, whatever. And then let's say you have number 2 rising. So if you have number 2, you're born in at the moment that you're over the horizon, the number 2 sector of the zodiac circle, the spatial circle is rising, then that will be your first house. That's you. Then that will be, the next one is your family, number 2, and so on. So usually when they do this, they don't put in 1. It's understood it's 1. It's the first sign of the zodiac. You leave it blank, and then you just you know that this is the first house, second house, third house, like that, and you can see it that way. Then we come to the East Indian style. The East Indian style is also looking at this Kalapurusha, at the yearly cycle that's based on the equator, the sun and moon going above and below the equator. And so there you draw it like this, where at the top this is basically the equator, and this is the first position at spring, second position, third position, fourth position, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here you can also see is something in a kendra of nature. Is it at the equator, or is it the highest, the lowest? Is it low below the equator, or let's say this is below the equator, or is it above the equator? So that would be the highest point of the sun above the equator, the lowest point below the equator, and then spring and fall equinox. So this kind of is an easy way of looking at it, and then you divide each one into 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. Or let's say if you're going in a proper direction here, 1, 2, 3. I'm seeing everything as reversed, my drawing reversed, so it's harder for me to kind of point this out. But anyway, it's 1, 2, 3. That's the sun going higher and higher and higher and higher, then fall, and then like that. And depending where your planets are, you can see immediately the Kalapurusha aspect. It's very similar. I mean, the concept is still similar to the South Indian style, just a little different arrangement. The reason that this has got little boxes is it's like the boxes of your life. There's you, then there's your family, then there's your brothers and sisters, your mother and home, and your children, and your day-to-day work and healing and service, your relationships, your transcending, going deep, your past lives, your dharma, your purpose in life, your actions, your achievements, your sense of completion, letting go, fulfillment. So you can have it arranged differently. I kind of like, for the sake of teaching at least, I like this arrangement where you're looking at, this is the horizon, this is above, this is the part that's above the horizon, this is the part that's below the horizon. and it has these different meanings of self, and then your family and your brothers, sisters, and so on. So I like this arrangement. It also helps you focus because there's a point here. So if you're looking at it, you can transcend into that point, kind of as a meditation yantra or image. So we've talked about the different forms of charts. Next video, I would like to describe how you interpret the chart. At least start. Okay? So looking forward to talk in the next video.